Okay, so next one, it just so happened that, because, yeah, I don't want to say that. Let's leave that alone. It just so happened what we just did, it just fell right in line with what I'm getting ready to do as far as time-wise. So, first, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt under me, Mr. Angel Vargas. It takes 3 years to acquire your first degree. So everybody else, to make it clear, you have a stripe on your belt. So you're like a 3-stripe white belt, a 4-stripe blue belt, a 3-stripe purple belt. It's not a degree. You're not a 3rd degree purple belt. You only get your degrees until you hit black belt. And every time you get 1 stripe on your belt or degree, you know, it's 3 years. So I got 3, 6, 9. Now, after I hit this 3rd one, I won't get another one for 5 more years. So why I'm saying that is because it's not just a piece of tape. I mean, imagine the 3 years that the 9 years that I've put into this belt. And for you guys that have known me for that long, or known me for the little time, how much work I put in, how much I travel, how much I compete, how much work I put in here on the mat. So for someone to get their black belt is one thing. And then to take the next step and get to the next step is huge. So, Mr. Vargas, I'd like to have you come up, please. Come on up. We're going some people, I always hear people say, "Oh, it's just a piece of tape." That just so irritates you, man, because this is 3 years at black belt. Some will never make it to black belt, which is sad, because they give up on their goals, they let life happen, and it's, again, like what we were just talking about, is like, as coaches, it's our job to make you not let that happen. And the way I push and the way I am is to not let life just happen to you. You take control of your life and you make things happen, because I used to do that. And one day I just got tired of being sick and tired, and now I make things happen. And so we are going to promote Mr. Vargas to his first degree on his black belt. Sir, thank you. So just like everybody else, I'd like to have Mr. Vargas, because a lot of you, you know, haven't been around that long. How long have you been around? How long have you been here?
Since you guys pretty much opened.
So 9 years?
Yeah.
9 years, yeah. Around this time, nine years ago, you know. Let's move in a little bit this way. Okay, so just tell us about your journey a little bit from beginning to now.
Well, I started training at, just garage grappling with some friends. You know, I did Taekwondo as a kid growing up, and always was fascinated with martial arts. You know, thinking like the smaller person can overcome somebody bigger, stronger. You know, I'm kind of a soft-spoken person, so I like to still have that in my confidence, knowing that, hey, you know, I can defend myself. And that's really why I started martial arts. And then after that, I saw some guys just rolling around on the ground after Taekwondo practice one day, and I was like, man, that's never gonna, that's never gonna happen, and I'll kick somebody, And then after class, I had a guy say, all right, let me just pin you down to the ground and see if you can kick me. It's like, of course I'm not gonna be able to kick him, and I struggled, and I was already a black belt in Taekwondo. I was like 18, and I thought I was a man, so he pinned me down, and I couldn't get up, and I was dead tired, in just a couple of minutes. And so I was like, okay, I'll try this, and then, I used my black belt Taekwondo skills, and eventually I started whooping up on these guys, give me about a few months, and a few months go by, and I still don't tap anybody out, get roughed up by these guys. And then when I started training, it was more like MMA guys, people wanting to use it to fight in the cage, so it was like rough stuff and not very technical, so I did that off and on with my buddies, and then eventually we found Mr. Alvarez, who had just started training at like a cheerleading gym or like a gymnastics gym, and he, I believe, just got his black belt like a few months earlier, and so we went to try it out, and I was way out of shape, just showed up like, I didn't even have my gear, just had like a wife beater, and just came up and was like, let's see what happens, and it was a tough workout, and then I, came back and signed up. And then after that, just try to train as much as possible. Just one thing though, a lot of people when they get their black belt, you're kind of in front of people, and it's kind of, man, I want to say so many things, but then you come up here and you get shy a little bit, and even the people that are like high level, they go and they win all these championships, and I'm like, man, they just got their black belt, I was like, I can't wait to hear what they have to say, and they say, hey, just come to class, just train hard, but there's a lot that involves, just coming to class means you have to not eating like crap the day before, you couldn't have gone out drinking if you're going to go on Saturday morning and try to do what it is, and you're hurt a little bit, your broken finger, whatever, you're like, well, just go to class isn't really just go to class, but you have to tell yourself that, and I think that's why black belts, when they get their black belt, that's what they say, because they're probably saying that to themselves. Just go to class, I'm hurt, I'm tired, just go to class, I need to eat better, so those things happen. And another thing that I just want to say while I'm kind of in the thought process is, when you come to class and you first start in jiu-jitsu, you get a lot of things that trouble you, it's trouble spots. You can't get out of somebody's mount, you're in side control, and it's very hard to get out. And you start to learn, and you start to learn from other people, and you appreciate all these people that are helping you. You appreciate your coach. Man, I see all the time people come in, white belt, they're so excited, they're coming in, they're training every day, working hard, and then they learn some moves and they get good, because if you're training, especially if you're training here, you're training all the time, you're going to get good. And so many people are ready to be the coach, and it's good, it feels good to help other people and to say, hey man, that person learned something because of me. But I think sometimes people lose sight of the people that they've learned from, and they forget that they too were in trouble at certain points, and they get, for lack of a better word, they get big-headed. They start to think that they're all that, right? And then it gets to the point where even, like, late purple belt stage, you go and you won some championships, man, you're doing great at the tournament scene, you're tapping a lot of people out in class, people see you as a coach, and then you think, oh, maybe I'm better than my coach, or maybe I have some ideas that are better than the coach's ideas. And that's why I still come back. I feel like there's so much more for me to learn. I come back because, not just because I got great roles, which of course it's always going to be that way, but there's so much left to learn. And people lose sight of that. You get good at whatever level that you are. It doesn't matter what you've won out there or where you can be when you roll. There's always something left to learn. Always. And I'm going to be coming back. Next week I'll be back to learn more, because there's always something. And Mr. Alvarez, he brings, for himself, he brings people from all different parts of the world for us to learn. And I can't do that, and I'm a coach. I've got goals like, man, I want to be able to fly in, all these champions so I'm still in a very much of a learning state. So I just really appreciate having the student mentality. And I really hope that nobody forgets that. And nobody forgets literally where you came from, meaning those trouble spots, where you came from as far as getting pinned, getting tapped out, and then now you're on top. Don't think that you're all that. Okay, you gotta keep coming back to class and keep being true to yourself. Don't avoid rolls. You got people like, hey, I'm getting my first stripe, but I know that if I roll with any of these blue belts that are really hungry, purple belts, I'm gonna have to bring it. That's why I have to keep coming back to class too. I can't just say, oh, I'm a black belt now. It's like I graduated from college. I'm never coming back, maybe to party. That's not going to work either, So I feel like that happens too with a lot of black belts, is that I don't want to be the black belt that's like, I'm there, and now I'm just going to chill, because I'm a black belt now, and every time I come to class, man, it's very tough, And so I feel like I have to maintain. If I got my black belt, and 3 years ago I just quit, and I didn't come back, then I wouldn't be the same black belt. I would have digressed. I would have went backwards. Maybe you would have demoted me or something. Okay, but thank you. That's I don't want to ramble on, but I appreciate
that's good stuff, because one thing for sure, that you guys that train at 10:30, you always see him here. Like, he's here, and he's a huge help to me. Like, a big part of my wins, everything that I do, is because of my student. Is because I put everything into him, along with what I do with you guys. And he comes back to give it back to me. And that's like the biggest thank you. Well, I can't give him, he can't repay me for all the things that I've done or shared with him over the years. All you can do is come back and share it back with your coach, and your teammates. And so a big portion of all the success that I have is because he comes back every week to share that with me, and we have these times together on the mat, and it's just so invaluable. And so it's very much appreciated. And he hasn't taken any time off from his black belt till now to his first degree. And so, like you said, he'll be back next week. And where you see a lot of black belts, man, they're done. They're officially, they're not going to compete no more. They barely roll. They don't really do this. They don't really do that. Like, and that's not it, man. You are just starting. You are just starting. You know, it's just beginning. Like, it just starts all over again. Like, I'm as hungry now as I am when I first started, where you guys are sitting at now. Okay, so again, thank you, Mr. Vargas. Congratulations again. All right, guys. So let's get some mat time in, and we are good to go, and we are done for the day.